join me in Haslemere Motorcycles, where I'm currently packing up my plastics to get them on the bike. I kind of dry ran this with the stuff I had at home, because obviously I've got this whole kit for the originals. And I've been able to get quite a few bits in there. Then the plan is to tape and wrap the rest of it together and strap it to the back of the bike. As you can see, Haslemere is currently like appointment only. They've got everything set up. They were so ahead of so many people. I was really impressed, actually. Or if you remember, I was supposed to be taking this DR Big out, and hopefully that should still happen. That is an 800cc single cylinder, like two derricks stuck together. As they say, where there is a will, there is a way. And there was no way for me to get a lift down it anytime soon. So, we'll do it this way instead. It might look loose, but it's just I've given it a little bit of play, but nothing's loose enough for it to go anywhere. I just don't want to pull too hard on the plastics. I've got the rest in my bag. We're all kitted up. Everything should be fine. We're going to take the calmest route home. And this is where I have to give an absolutely massive thank you to Suzuki UK and Haslemere Motorcycles, because between them, they managed to get me, which I've just picked up, this is the full replacement set of plastics for my DRZ. So huge thanks to Haslemere Motorcycles, who I'll be back here soon anyway, because I do loads of reviews with them. Bike reviews, you know. As I say, as I've got all these plastics at home, I did like a trial run working out how much could fit in my bag and how much would fit on the back of the bike, and I knew it would be fine. But my stuff didn't have plastic wrapping on it, which has meant that I haven't quite got as much in my bag as I had before. But it's okay. I am getting onto the A3 for a short while, but I'm going to get off at a more of a country-based road. It's a little way up here. So catch me there, because it's going to be bloody noisy all the way till when we get there. Oh, that's better. Quiet country roads, slower speed limits. Just poodle my way back home nice and comfortably. As I say, huge thanks to Haslemere Motorcycles and Suzuki for helping me out with this. I do have to say it is kind of cool to say that the manufacturer has helped you do like a rebuild restoration on your bike. You know, Suzuki UK, thank you. That's just so it's something very cool that I feel like I've ticked off in a little box. It's not dissimilar to helping develop my own motorcycle for the future models. You know, like when I had the Pulse Adrenaline, which later became the Lex Moto Adrenaline. My feedback from the time was used to help develop the bike, and publicly acknowledged by Lex Moto as well. And as I say, I know a lot of people were like, well, it's just it's one of the Chinese companies, it's not such a big deal, it's not like Honda or Suzuki did something. But they have now. It's kind of cool. It's no great bragging rights or anything like that. It's just, as I say, it just feels like a little tick in a box of like, that's a cool thing to have achieved at some point. To be doing well enough at what I'm doing for them to be happy to help, and in such an amazing way. As I say, long-term subscribers of this channel, of which you probably aren't. If you're watching this and you're not a subscriber, you're the same as about 66% of the people who watch these videos. It's just because no one hits the subscribe anymore, because it doesn't mean anything. But I am trying to get to 100k, so if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I would appreciate it. What was I saying earlier? I got totally sidetracked. Basically, as regular viewers of mine know, I've been trying to get plastics for this bike for so long, and you know, feasibility of it was not possible. Oh, young magpies waiting for some food from their parents. We've had some of those in the garden. I can't keep to a single subject today, I've noticed. I'm excited, I think that's probably what it is. If you've not been watching the Restoration Z build series, I'm restoring my Suzuki DRZ 400 SM, and it's very nearly closer to being done. This is one of the important things I needed to go and pick up. There's still a couple of bits coming from America, so that's going to delay things a little, and I still have a few bits and pieces to do on the bike, so now I'm in a much more sort of relaxed phase of doing the last bits, doing the neatening up, getting this right, getting that right. Most of the stress is gone now. Which way shall I go? I'll go up the hill because it's prettier up that way. Just got to make sure that no one is coming. Parking space. I think that's technically a green lane, the one that goes up there. I have been up it once before now. Feed bucket. But even though the DRZ's been getting plenty of love, Divvy actually got some too. I gave this an oil change yesterday because it was a few hundred miles past when I should have done it. Been lazy. And it's so easy to change the oil on this bike that I was just like, I'm going to do that in 20 minutes. But no, you know, 20 minutes of work, you leave it draining for longer than that. There's going to be a pile of gravel on the corner. This is Gravel Corner. So I used to know it in my 125 days. Because you got to come out of here and you get straight into that patch of gravel that's always there, Gravel Corner. Obviously the time that I'm recording this is a little way behind for when you're seeing this on YouTube, and at the point I'm talking now there are videos of the build series which are done and on Patreon but haven't gone to YouTube yet. In fact, episode 19 hasn't even gone to Patreon yet. I think people are going to be kind of surprised how quickly this bike's gone back together, but that's because the way that I did all of the other work first, you know, stripped it, did all the servicing work and then putting it back together, because now everything's pretty much ready to just stick it together. Truth is, you could strip that bike down in 2 days and you could rebuild it in 2 days, if not less. If you weren't filming and if you're not servicing every little bit and piece, and you're taking things off in large sections rather than completely breaking them down like I did. That's why I've not been too worried, as I say, to use the spray paint that I've used on the frame. You know, a lot of people have said, you know, well, that's not the best thing you could have done. And it's like, no, it's not the best thing I could have done. It was the only thing I could do, because there was a pandemic and a lockdown and people weren't open to do powder coating on frames, or at least not near me. I did actually contact someone and said, you know, could you let me know what sort of price I'm looking at, and just didn't hear a thing back. So I was like, well, alright, whatever, I'll just do it myself. So my point is here, if in a couple of years time the frame doesn't look so good, you know, maybe the paint's chipped a little bit or something, it is less than a week's work to restrip, powder coat or something like that on the frame, and then put it back together again. Another thing about this build that I've absolutely loved is the confidence boost it's given me, but not in the sense of doing mechanical work. I'm happy doing that, just, you know, doing work on that bike, because I'd always taken it down whenever I've done the work to it, only down to a certain point, and you know, you take it that far down, you build it back up a few times, you're happy. But if you ever to go much further than that, there's elements of unknown in there. Well, there is no elements of unknown now, because I literally have had every single bit of the bike apart from deep into the engine. Thank you. It's like the wiring loom confused me to start with. I was trying to work out where everything went. Once I actually stopped, looked at it, realised what went where, took some of it apart, all of a sudden this, you know, this big bag of snakes had been laid out straight, and I knew exactly what went where, and now I'm completely happy. Let's have a feel of the package. The package feels secure. It feels very nice. Oh, the road surface is terrible. Getting railroaded by cracks and stuff. Are we all good still? We all good? Yeah, we're all good. We've only got a few more miles to go and we'll be home and all will be safe and sound. Safe and sound. When I'm filtering down this bit of the road, what I'm looking at, obviously other than ahead, is that mirror of the person in front of me to see if at any point they look at me, because if they do, then they see me and they tend to move. If they don't move, then they're being a bit of a knob. But at least if they've seen me, they shouldn't do anything too untoward. Like, this person's mirror doesn't actually even face their face, so they can't see me, because that's kind of how reflections work, you know. If someone can see you in a mirror, you can see them. So if they can't see you, or you can't see them, they can't see you. Ambulance. Right then, I will catch you when we get back home. Check out the haul. Okay, so here's my old plastics. As you can see, like, this has got a big scrape in it. It's very deep. I'm going to try and restore these using the techniques that people suggest, but I didn't want to try and do that with the risk of completely messing these up. Now I have the new set, I have the option to try and, you know, refresh these as an experiment to see what can be done, which I'll do in the future. But I have a few questions I need to answer, like, do these holes exist in the other one? And does that exist on the other one? I get a feeling I'm going to have to take that off and re-rivet it on. There is one panel I'm missing that I'm waiting to arrive, which is the airbox door, because these are all listed under fairings. This is listed as an airbox cover. I mean, it is an airbox cover because it's built into it, but equally, it's a piece of fairing. Now, I mentioned in the past about how I was going to have to try and work out some custom graphics kit because Suzuki OEM graphics are very expensive. Well, as it turns out, the shrouds, and these are the only stickers I wanted, come with the graphics on them. These are the right ones, as you can see. It might be difficult to see on camera, but again, these have got really big scores and scratches and scrapes, and a lot of these existed before I bought the bike. I didn't do these. So, yeah, but look how amazing and shiny and new. Is that going to fit in? Yeah. Amazing. Thank you so much to Suzuki and Haslemere for sorting this out for me. So the only thing I need to answer is, do I need, oh, hold on, well, I can't feel anything. Yeah, I was right, you can see you got the holes, but the clip's on here, so I'll have to just drill that out and rivet that onto there, no problem. I see holes, yeah, there's holes. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. That's not a problem, I just need to get these little cover things and I can do that. Right, well, brilliant, thank you for watching, I'll catch you next time. I'm wearing these. I've just realised. Right, let me cover this because people have mentioned this in the build. These are just generic house shoes that everyone in my house uses if you need to go outside, but they happen to fit me. But the reason I like using them is when my back is bad, because they're very spongy on the bottom, and it stops me getting so much jarring through my spine. And if you remember a couple of years ago, I couldn't walk for about 2 months. So, yeah. Leave me alone in my purple squidgy shoes, you bastards. Catch you next time. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit the like button and subscribe to see future videos. This channel is made possible by the support of the audience. Please consider joining my Patreon to get early access to videos, questions answered in the monthly Q&A, your name on screen, and some exclusive content, all for as little as $1 a month. You can also check out the links in the description to my merch and other ways to directly support the channel. Thanks for watching.